My 36F husband, 42 male, is currently in Las Vegas for a national bowling tournament. He is there with his mom and her friends/folks from their bowling league. He is an avid bowler, bowls in a Tuesday night league, often in state tournaments and sometimes in national tournaments. Typically I go with and sometimes bowl myself. This year, we decided I would not go, but stay home with our 3 boys, ages 4, 8, 10, due to heat and smoke in Vegas in July. My husband and I have been married for 11 years. This is his second marriage. His first marriage failed because he walked in on his wife cheating on him with another man. I have never, not once, thought that he would ever be intimate with another woman while he was with me. He's just not that type. So, onto this trip. Typically when he goes on a trip without me, at least one a year given my job and time off requirements, he stays in a hotel room with his mom or our boys. 3 nights ago, I was on FaceTime with him while he was in his hotel room. It was really nice and he was talking about possibly taking a nap for lack of sleep. I asked if he had his room to himself, because that would have been awesome, and he said oh no? Is sharing with me. I asked him who that was, and he said something, I don't remember, aside from she. I said wait what? And then he went on to explain that he was supposed to share the room with his mom's boyfriend, but plans changed and now he is sharing the room with another woman on the trip. He told me that I played cornhole with her last month at a get-together. I reminded him who I had played cornhole with, him and a girl, but not one with the name he was giving me. I have no idea who this woman is, at which point he got very confused. He did not understand why I was upset or frustrated, so I dropped it because I did not want to deter from his time, and his bowling. I know I should have asked how he would have felt if the roles were reversed, but I didn't. Partly because I didn't want to fight, we hardly ever fight, while the kids were up, and partly because I didn't want to hear him chalk it up to my imagination. I have hardly slept since that night, and my dreams have been chock full of worst case scenarios, and still I have not really brought it up again. There have been a few occasions in which he has talked about taking naps and how lame he is in Vegas. I have mentioned a few times, sort of sarcastically as a side, that he would be having more fun if he were sharing a room with me, or if I was there instead of his present company, but he has brushed it all aside. So here we are, he has spent the last 3 nights in a hotel room with a woman that is not me or his mother, Amita for being upset. Edited to get rid of some names, husband is coming home tonight and we will talk. I'm hoping it's 82-year-old grandma smile update 1. Okay, so I took some advice and grew a backbone. I texted him a little while ago instead of waiting until he got home. He and our boys are leaving for another trip tomorrow morning. I could not get the time off of work, so I wanted to make sure we had the conversation fully before he left again. Before I give the update, I wanted to make a couple of things clear. I do trust my husband. He has never shown he would be the kind of person to cheat, and that is not what truly concerned me. Even though I did have some pretty unpleasant dreams. My issue was that he was not upfront and honest with me. If I had done the same thing, he would have lost his mind, understandably. This is why I started the original post with he's just not that type. We do generally have great communication. The issue here is that I like to have this kind of conversation face to face rather than over the phone. It's just not something I like to hash out while we are not in the same space. Obviously, in T's situation, I should have made the exception, and have now done so. Now, for the update, I texted him today to tell him that this situation has been bothering me for the last 3 days. I had questions and we needed to have this conversation. I asked who the woman was, how old she was and why didn't he tell me about the situation before I found out by accident. There was a mix-up with the rooms, something about someone not going so people were shuffled. He was paired with a woman about my age. He said he didn't think it would be a big deal and didn't want to inconvenience everyone else on the trip. He also said he did not want to upset me, which is why he didn't write out tell me about it. He did tell me that I never had anything to worry about and he made sure they weren't in the room alone together aside from when they were sleeping. I know, but I really do believe him on this. I was honest with him and told him that if roles were reversed, out of respect for him, I would have called him right away to make sure he was okay with it. I told him that while I trust him implicitly, I should not have found out the way that I did. And he should not have blown off my concern. I told him that the lack of upfront communication felt suspicious, regardless of intention or what actually happened. As for not upsetting me, I told him I would have understood and not been upset if he had just been honest. He has apologized profusely. I told him next time to just communicate. He is adamant there will not be a next time. So, call me naive if you want, but I am dropping it at this point. He will be home this evening and I intend on having a nice evening with him before I don't see him again for another 2 weeks. Update 2. I am not handling this as well as I thought I was. I had decided to let it go. I know he wasn't doing anything with this other woman. You can disagree and call me crazy if you'd like, but I do know that. However, as much as I have tried, I can't get past the fact that he made the decision to do something he knew I wouldn't be okay with, and not tell me about it. It all feels just so messed up. I have talked to a few of my coworkers. I don't have really any friends that aren't friends of his that I talk to on a regular basis, and there is no way I will talk to my family because that is a shitstorm I can't handle right now, and they are all shocked and more angry for me than I have let myself be. Most of them know him, the kind of person he is and what ended his first marriage. He used to work at the same company. We had less than 24 hours together before his mom and all 3 of my children took their trip to the other side of the United States. I have been sitting in my feels and will continue to do so until they get back, almost another week from now. I was on the phone with them this evening before they went to bed, and one of the first things my husband said to me was, "I'm sharing a bed with a redhead tonight." And I almost came unglued before I realized he was talking about one of our boys. We have 3 sons. After a very long pause, I said, "You better be talking about," and I was so angry I don't understand how he didn't pick up on that. Every conversation we have had has been short and to the point because I'm really just not interested in talking to him. I have been calling my oldest son, and talking with my boys instead. His mom hasn't really said much to me, which makes me think he has said something to her. Which is fine, of course. I really don't care about that. Bottom line is, I don't know what to do. It is midnight at home. I tried to go to bed 2 hours ago and just could not stop sobbing, so I got up and let it go. It felt good to get it out, but I know I need to talk to someone. I have support lines through work I can call, but won't tonight. Far too many drinks and I don't want to bring that into it as well, but I will call tomorrow. I know I should be upset and angry and not let it go. But I am afraid when I do talk to a professional they will say I'm blowing it out of proportion. I will still call, but I need to get my head straight first. He is bicycling for 7 days, over 400 miles, so as much as I want to tear him a new one right now, especially after his completely insensitive and clueless joke this evening, I have not. Because I want him home safe and sound. Regardless of my feelings in this moment, the most important thing is that my children's dad comes home safe so we can hash this out at least in the same city and not while he is 1,000 miles away. With his mom. And my children. Update 3. I am sorry it has been a bit since I have updated. Things have been a lot. I am also sorry this post is very long. My family came home a day early, so I took 2 extra days off of work to see them and figure things out with my husband. After we had unloaded and put everything away, we had dinner and watched a show. After putting the boys to bed, my husband and I went to our room. It was pretty clear he thought he was going to get lucky, because he was very confused when I turned the light on. I told him that I had questions and I needed him to answer them. He was hesitant but agreed. I asked him who this woman is, how old and is she married. I still don't know who she is, but he did confirm she is younger than me, and not married. I then asked who made the decision he would be sharing a room with her. He said that his mom said it would be really great if they shared so she could spend the 3 nights with her boyfriend/not boyfriend. I asked him why he didn't tell me about it. He said he was just so tired and had had such a long day he didn't think about it. Conflicting with his earlier, "I didn't want to upset you." He said that he didn't think I would ever question his intentions, so why would he think he would have to tell me? I told him it wasn't about questioning his intentions or fidelity, it's that what they did as completely inappropriate and disrespectful to me and our marriage. And at the absolute very least, he should have sent me a quick text explaining the situation. I also told him that his mom is not always right. He apologized profusely, said he shouldn't have put his mom before me, he didn't think it would be a thing because he would never try to hurt me and he thought I knew that. All the things. And we honestly talked it out and worked through things for a solid few hours. We came to a really good place and connected for the first time in a long while. Then he went to work the next day, which hurt because I didn't really have the time to be calling in. I am severely behind at work, but I did anyway because I wanted to do the right thing for us and to take care of us. But because he just spent 2 weeks going all over the country doing something super fun and now he is super behind in his job, he couldn't afford to take any more time off. So that really hurt, but I let it go because he really was behind and I at least had the boys that I got to catch up with. That day my mom called to see what we were doing for my birthday, which was 2 days away. I had honestly forgotten about it with everything, so I told her I didn't know and asked if my husband had called her. She said he had not. So I told her I would let her know when we came up with a plan. That night, I asked him if he had a plan, and he said, "Oh, I don't know, what do you want to do?" And that really hurt, but I let it go because we've had so much going on. I told him it would be great if we had a barbecue and he invited people and got the groceries and he agreed. I specifically asked if he would call my mom. He did get some of the groceries, but not all of them. And he did surprise me with a cake. But that was it. I ended up inviting everyone last minute, having to apologize along the way, and had to go to the store twice to get the rest of the things we needed. At the party, he started showing our friends the pictures from his trip, pictures I haven't even seen yet. I was so mad, upset, frustrated. He didn't catch on. So then it came time for gifts. His was a card game and a back rub. I felt like I was just slapped in the face. To be clear, I don't place a high value on gifts. If you get me something great, if you don't, that's fine. But he didn't get me anything for Mother's Day, but I got him a whole slew of things for Father's Day for his trip and an Xbox game he wanted. I also planned each of those days by myself. And he just went to the other side of the country, and all he thought to grab for me was a card game? I didn't want to fight in front of our friends, so I let it be. I didn't really expect more than that anyway, but it still hurt. Then I went back to work and things were meh. Anything he did irritated me. Anything his mom did irritated me. I was getting so frustrated and sad and angry and just not myself. Then I had a medical issue, something that pokes its little head back up every 5 years like clockwork, but I had been ignoring because of everything going on. Come back and I went to our urgent care to take care of it. But I had to take care of all sorts of things first so that me going to the doctor didn't hamper my husband's day, so I was really irritated in the morning. It didn't help that his mom came over and I just can't handle her right now. It also didn't help that he told me that morning about all the plans he had come up with for our son's birthday in a few weeks. I was mad at myself for being upset. I should be stoked my husband is thinking about our son and wanting to give him a great birthday party, but I was so deflated and sad and angry in that moment. But he had to go to work so I left it alone. So before I went, I sent him a text apologizing for being irritated. I told him that I'm not in a good place mentally or physically and I'm really struggling. He asked how he could help, and I responded that I really didn't know. And then I saw the doctor and he referred me to surgery. This will be the third time I have had surgery for this. I was so frustrated and sad and hurt, I decided to just put it all out there. And since he can't seem to find the time to actually talk to me, I texted him a novel, laying out everything that is on my mind. The trip, my birthday, him not taking time, my son's birthday, all of it. After an hour he had not responded, so I sent him another text saying that maybe he could just tell me I'm not crazy and we will get through this together, or something like that at least. He responded to that saying that he loves me and has lots to say but can't say it over the phone. So then I went to work and did the things. I felt a little better. He didn't discredit all of my frustration, so things were okay. That night he called to tell me he loved me and was going to take the next day off to spend with me. It was also my day off. I was pretty darn stoked. The next day I asked him what were the things he wanted to say. And he said he didn't want to say it in front of the kids. So then that night I asked him again, and he said that we have been having such a great day, he didn't want to ruin it and me get all emotional, so he wasn't going to say it then. I felt like I had just been punched in the gut. So wait, you have been so nice since I texted you, but now I'm going to be sad and upset? What is going on? It is now the next day, and I just asked him again. He completely blew me off and went to town to pick up our son from camp. I am at a loss. I don't know what to do. I can only ask him to talk to me so many times. He doesn't share his thoughts or emotions often, but I would think he would do it now, right? I don't know what to do. Update 4. Your husband was in a hotel room with a younger woman for days. He gaslit you that it's no big deal and acting like you're the crazy one for thinking it's a problem. In what world are things okay after that? How much of a door, Matt, has he made you that one conversation blows that over? Your mill set him up to cheat on you. In no world is him sharing a room with a younger single woman appropriate. He knows that. She knows that. If you think he's a good boy, I don't know what kind of blinders you have on or Kool-Aid you're drinking, but stop. He blew off your birthday. He couldn't even muster going to the grocery store, let alone sending some texts. He was away from you for 2 weeks and couldn't even bring you some postcards from along the way? My son was on a school trip for 4 days. He brought me all kinds of little things because he was in a gas station and saw this pretty postcard I would like. Or at this gift shop and thought that keychain was something I would like. So, your husband is less considerate than a teenager on a school trip with all his teenage buddies? He gives you bullshit after bullshit and just pretends things are fine. You lay it all out there via text and again, he blows you off. Gives you some love bombing in the form of family time, and expects to sweep it under the rug. He's hoping to wait you put before you find out what he actually did in that hotel room. Or how many times he's met that woman before. Or just to make sure he can feed you bullshit after betraying your marriage with his mom's help and you'll just ignore it. At some point, you have to acknowledge you have a shitty husband and a very unhealthy marriage. How many ways does he have to show you you're not a priority? He doesn't respect you, and he could not care less about your feelings before you believe him. Update 5. I apologize for the late update. My health took a pretty drastic turn for the worse for a minute. But no worries, all is good now. And I had a really good talk with my doctor about putting myself first, and she is getting me in touch with a counselor. Now, for the update, it's barely an update, and for that I'm sorry. When I finally did get him to tell me what he wanted to say, he ended up saying it in front of the boys anyway. He only brought up 2 things I had talked about in the novel I had sent him. The first was that I was going to look for a counselor. He said he loved that idea and that it really helped him when he was talking to one. Then he brought up that I had mentioned how much weight I have gained since the birth of our last child. He said that he still finds me crazy attractive, as should be evident by the fact that he still shows up in bed. Then he started talking about what I shouldn't be doing if I wanted to lose weight, and apologizing for the fact that he and the boys have ridiculous metabolisms and don't have to worry about it. I asked him to stop trying to give me weight loss advice. That wasn't the point of me telling him. I asked if there was anything else he wanted to say and he said no. Just those 2 things. So at this point this is where I am at. My husband did not cheat on me. I do know this is true. I am still not in a good place because of so many things happening at once, so I am seeking help. Thanks for the advice and support from most of you. Now on to the second story. Came out to my best friend and she outed me to everyone, so I exposed her secret STD and now she's shamed. I 25F and my best friend Emma 26F have been friends since elementary school and I honestly thought of her as a sister. We tell each other everything, went to the same college and even though we have 2 different jobs we work in the same area. Emma was my rock for years as I battled self-hate and depression due to growing up in a small conservative town as not only a person of color but a closeted lesbian. Emma did not know I was a lesbian, just knew that I was unhappy. Never staying long in relationships, self-isolation and later I developed anorexia. Emma was the one who suggested we go to an out-of-state college and later suggested we move out of state too. I've gotten much better since then and for that, I genuinely thank her. Though about 2 years ago Emma contracted herpes from some guy she slept with and it has been very hard for her to land a boyfriend since then and it's made her very lonely. She hasn't told her family or friends about it because she doesn't want to be seen as gross. Due to this I haven't really put myself in the dating field and have put off coming out. Though about 6 months ago I met this girl at a craft store. Long curly hair, dressed in all black with big eyeliner and ruby lipstick. I couldn't stop staring at her and I admit when she smiled at me I kind of followed her around the store. I know, creepy. I eventually worked up the courage to just ask her for her number and she gave it to me. I was so excited, I started texting her that night and since then, we have been hanging out a ton and I think she likes me back. I was going to ask her out, but since I live with Emma I decided I should come out since I will be bringing her around if the girl says yes. So after work I sat her down and told her I was a lesbian. I said all the anguish I went through growing up was because of my self-hate. How I wish I could have told her earlier but I never found the right time, but now that I was in love with someone I felt like I should tell her. That she was the one person I trusted with this information. She just stared at me shocked for a few seconds and then her face turned from shock to disgust. She jumped back and accused me of being a pervert and how I was gross for being around her so much knowing I was gay. Even mentioning how she's gotten changed around me and I'm no better than some creepy man. I tried explaining I had no romantic feelings for her and I honestly had a crush on someone else. She wouldn't buy it and locked herself in her room. Later my phone started ringing off the hook and to my surprise it was tons of messages from my family and our friend group either calling me homophobic slurs or asking if it was true that I liked Emma. My mother even called to scream at me a few mess and apparently I'm disowned. I started banging on the door and told her why the hell she outed me to everyone and she just started calling me a pervert again. So I was like, oh okay fine, you wanna play? Fine. I had a pic of her diagnosis and sent it to her parents and our friend group. According to the only friend who didn't crap on me, people are talking more about Emma than me because she still shares stuff even though she has herpes. Now they are grossed out and are accusing her of trying to infect them with her diseases along with some slut shaming. Now I'm looking for a new apartment and I'm still planning to ask the girl out this week, but I was told by Emma's parents that I ruined her reputation and labeled their daughter as a dirty H/E. I feel bad but I felt like she deserved it. Though I know that a disease and sexuality are 2 different things, so I'm wondering if I was really wrong to do that. Edit. Since some had asked, I'll make another edit TMMR, I'm asking her out tonight. I made reservations at this nice Thai place she's been wanting to try, then I'm going to take her to Boardwalk and ask her out there as to not put her on the spot in front of a ton of people. See y'all then, hope it goes well. Edit 2. I'm about to go pick up Ruby, a commenter has been calling my crush Ruby and I think that's pretty cute, so that's what I'm going to be referring to her as. Anyway, for some context since it was asked. Emma is staying with a family friend who lives around here because her parents don't want us fighting. My lease is up soon and hopefully I've locked down something by then. At least I'll be able to be alone now. Anyway, wish me luck. Update 1. So as I stated in my last post, Emma is now staying with a relative in our area till our lease ends. The actual update on this is this morning Emma's parents were at my door. They flew out because Emma is refusing to step back into our apartment. So I let them come inside because I wasn't about to hold Emma's stuff hostage, but I did something stupid. See, they didn't really want to speak to me, which was fine, but I decided to just wait in my room until they left. Me and Emma have an emergency fund that had about 5k in it. I put in roughly 2.7k, they took it. The entire thing. Once I noticed, I called them to give me back my money because not all of it is hers, and they told me that I earn more than Emma and this was compensation for ruining her reputation. I was like, so it's okay that she tried to screw me over first? Their response, Emma did not choose this disease, you chose yours. I didn't even respond that, I just hung up. Honestly, I don't even care. They didn't take anything else other than the money. I genuinely don't want to see them anymore. Emma also has been cut off from her siblings because they have kids and she was kissing the babies without letting the parents know of her diagnosis. She also usually was not taking proper precautions during active outbreaks, so yeah. So now none of her siblings want her around them because they feel betrayed. Though on a lighter note, me and Ruby are officially dating. A commenter kept referring to her as Ruby and honestly I think that matches. We went out to a fancy Thai spot, watched a movie, and then I took her to the water at the edge of the city. I had some stupid playlist set up, I was trying to tone it down but I couldn't, too excited. I told her how beautiful I thought she was, how I enjoyed spending time with her, and if she was okay with it, if I could take her out on a date sometime. I had a whole speech prepared, but one of the comments told me I should be simple to not scare her. She laughed at me, She said this was the first date, so that was a yes. I dropped her off at her house and she gave me a kiss before she left, and I'm so happy. I've never kissed a girl before, Gray. So yeah, I actually give zero craps about the money, I just want them out so I can start my new life.